Overall, it's a 3 to 6 months process. You set up an offshore bank in St. Lucia, we can do it in 3 months.
So Renee, today we'll be talking about the rush for the offshore banking license. Now, is there a renewed interest in this sector?
Completely, Jessica. Actually, it's very funny because this market was nearly dead for the last 2 years. And your viewers may remember, but 2 months ago I did a presentation on Lithuanian specialized bank license, and I was thinking that this new European license would be an offshore bank license killer, basically. Also, all offshore jurisdictions have signed the tax automatic exchange agreement. So for those 2 reasons, I was thinking that the offshore bank license market would be dead, and I was wrong. Basically, we receive 2-3 requests every week for people who want to do offshore bank license, and we have been involved in the sales of 2 ready-made offshore bank and 2 operating offshore bank in the last 4 months. So it's quite surprising.
Yeah, it seems like there's been a really massive surge in this industry. So why is it of such interest at the moment?
Alors, to be honest, I don't have all the answer, but I can tell you what I think based on the inquiry I'm receiving. The first thing is on the offshore bank we have sold, 2 of them have been sold to Asian investors. And 60% of the inquiry we are receiving right now come from mainland Chinese or Hong Kong investors. So I guess there must be financial insecurity feeling, economical insecurity, which push them to consider offshore banking. The second reason, which is a little bit more surprising, is we have inquiry now from established European forex company, actually. And having discussed with those potential clients, I understand that because of the regulatory change in Europe, and especially for the change in leverage regulation, they are considering now to set up actually offshore bank to become offshore forex bank.
Now, does this mean there's a lot more offshore banks on the market at the moment to buy and to sell?
No, because actually, as a matter of fact, we actually participate to the sale of the 2 last ready-made license which were available, and 2 small operating banks. There is still 1 big offshore operating bank for sale, but we may have already some serious buyer for it. So, no, if someone wants an offshore bank license, they would have to start from scratch. But the point is it does not take more time to set up an offshore bank than to buy one, because if you want to buy a license on an operating bank, you will need to do the due diligence, then negotiate the sale purchase, then go through the process of being accepted by the foreign service financial service unit. Overall, it's a 3 to 6 months process. You set up an offshore bank in St. Lucia, we can do it in 3 months. So.
Wow. So in your opinion then, what's the best jurisdiction for an offshore banking license?
Actually, there is no, Jessica, there is not really a best jurisdiction per se. You have 2 things. First, you have jurisdiction which have a better reputation than others. And it's a question of how much capital do you need. So, for example, Cayman, $500,000, St. Lucia, Commonwealth of Dominica, 1 million, Seychelles, 2 million, and so on. And how long time you need to set up a new bank. For example, in St. Lucia, we can do it in 3 months. In Commonwealth of Dominica, 4-5 months. If you go Seychelles, Cayman, 7-8 months. So those are the considerations. But personally, I'm more familiar. I'm working more in St. Lucia and Commonwealth of Dominica.
It sounds like it's quite a short process actually, but it also sounds like it's a little bit of a complicated process. Is that the case?
Alors, the reflex is always to consider, oh, it's offshore, so it must be easy. And it was the case 10 years ago. It's a little bit less the case nowadays, because offshore jurisdictions have understood that if one bank is going bust or there is problem of money laundering with one of their banks, it put a bad reputation to their jurisdiction. So they are more exigent now. And it's why actually we changed the way we work. Now we are doing turnkey bank license actually.
And you hear the phrase turnkey quite a lot, so what does it actually mean?
Alors, turnkey ready-made license, it's basically we do not do just application. We also help the client with all the supporting documents. We assist him with preparing the business plan and the business profile for the next 3 years. We assist the client with anti-money laundering manual, KYC manual, a bank organigram, everything which is needed to file the application. We are actually doing it in-house. And of course, for the business plan, we will need some input from the client because we cannot do it from thin air. But basically, we do it all. And for a turnkey operating bank, it means that instead, after having done the license, we assist the client with the rest of the process, renting office, hiring employees, software, SWIFT, corresponding bank account. So we can help the client to get a turnkey operating bank, and we handle basically most of the work for him.
Fantastic. Now we've covered almost everything, but finally, how much does it cost?
It's actually not as expensive as this. Basically, to do a turnkey license, you can have a budget between 250 to 280,000 US dollar to set up an operating bank with everything ready to operate, maybe $700,000 to $900,000. I don't include the capital, so you also have to take into account the capital, but the capital is not money you spend, it's investment money you invest in your bank. So basically, setting up a bank will not cost more than setting up a restaurant.
Amazing, actually. Well, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your insights.
It was a pleasure coming, Jessica.
Thank you. Well, that's all from us here in the Geneva studios, but we want to hear how you found this interview, so please do like and comment on Dukascopy.tv.